Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're checking out Megabyte Punch by Reptile Games. This is a 2.5D fighting game with some elements of action and platformer and adventure, which you can see right in the title screen there. The primary focus here is combat, where you actually will try to steal parts from your enemy robot fighters and assimilate them into your own creation. So the idea being, as you play through the game, sort of like what you would see in Mega Man, you fight bosses, you get their parts, you put them on your own character if you want, and then you can use that to beat harder bosses. This is actually a really cool game from what I got to try in about 10 minutes or so of just demoing out the fight mode, because I just wanted to see how the controls felt and, you know, get a feel for the recording style and everything. It's available right now. You can get it on Desera, but it's also on Steam Greenlight to hopefully get approved to end up on Steam. They have said that if you pick it up on Desera or one of the other digital distribution platforms, you will also get a Steam code if it does indeed get greenlit. So there is some good motivation. And this is indeed a beta version. It's not finished yet, but that's okay because there's actually quite a bit to see anyway. I should also say that with the brawler or fighting element, the game feels a lot like Super Smash Bros., which is actually a pretty good thing, I think, as most people would agree. So what we're going to do is we're going to very quickly look at the options, you know, control style, sound, music, simple stuff. Great sound, by the way, great music, I like it so far. And we're going to jump into fight mode for a single-player tournament. They have said there will hopefully be some sort of online multiplayer when the game is finished, which should be sometime, it said Q1 2013, so that could be pretty soon. But for now, there's just single-player or local fights. So we're going to actually grab our 360 controller and do a little bit of walking around here. You can actually talk to all these guys. They're going to tell you, welcome to the tournament. You win some rare parts if you survive all 8 matches, so there we go. We know we have 8 matches to fight. I'm not going to try and actually beat the tournament, because it's actually fairly difficult as you get further on. But on my first try, I actually made it to round 5, which I think is pretty good for having standard build parts. I actually haven't unlocked anything. And what you want to do is you want to go through adventure mode to earn some parts, then come here into the tournament, see if you can get more parts, I guess. So we play as this little red guy, and he's going to tell us all about different attacks and shields and such. And he's got some pretty basic combat abilities. Oh, okay, so there's our building menu. I'm actually still getting a little bit used to the controls here. I think there was actually... yeah, you can break some of the grass and earn bits, which I'm going to assume you can spend toward more parts, which is kind of cool. Oh, I actually can't fight that guy. I didn't mean to engage him. I actually meant to just... oh, I wanted to punch the grass. I guess I can't do that. Alright, well, stop putting me into that combat menu, or the dialogue menu. So we've got a punch on X, we've got jump, we've got a double jump on A. On our right bumper, we've got our shield. When you're in shield mode, you can't move or attack. And that is about it, because we don't have any extra parts. So we've also got this, which is, I'm going to guess this is probably our shop menu. And then a little bit more exploration. Over here we can go check things out. There's not really much to see. There is, it looks like some kind of a wall jump, but I'm not sure exactly how to engage it. I guess I thought you would just sort of jump at the wall, maybe do a Super Metroid. Oh, it's a Super Metroid style wall jump, that's what it is. So you gotta do jump towards the wall, then opposite direction and jump again, and you should be able to do that. I want to point out the aesthetics here are very cool looking. This is a Unity game, and I think they did very well with what the graphics look like. This level reminds me a lot of like Green Hill Zone from Sonic, which is not a bad thing, necessarily. I actually never thought that aesthetic was that bad in the first place. So let's jump into a match. Battle 1. And you will get a feel for, very quickly, what this game plays like. I believe this is actually a different challenger than I fought the first time I did this. We've got, in the bottom corner there, you'll see I have 3 discs. Those are my extra lives. Our opponent only has 1 disc. And we're going to try and beat him up, and the higher his damage gets, the easier it is for him to fly away, off into the ether. Like I said, it's very much like Super Smash Bros., and I think that kind of combat actually is very easy, very accessible for people to pick up and play. And I have to say, like, I really think this game needs a lot more coverage, because I think it has huge potential, and I haven't even started unlocking parts or anything for it yet. Just based on what I've seen so far in this tournament mode, I was already very impressed. So if you wanted to see, I can actually do some slide kicks here, and the arenas are fully destructible, or at least mostly destructible. I'm not sure if I can break these little platforms. I haven't really tried, though, either. But you can get crazy weapons, like you can get arm cannons and stuff, and probably different kinds of projectiles. extra, you know, heavy attacking punch arms. You can also get like a drill arm, which is actually really useful because if you know how Smash Brothers works, a lot of the time you're going to spend trying to desperately get back into the match by dash jumping and such from the borders. And if you have a drill, you can actually drill right into the level and create somewhere to stand. So I'm actually not doing particularly well here. There are a few points about the combat that I think could use a little bit of fine-tuning, and that's fine, because this is a beta anyway. But one of those things... Oh, I thought I had to fight two guys for some reason. No, I gotta go back in and fight again. One of the things I think could use some work is the collision is a little bit iffy. I feel like there are so many, like, whiffed attacks most of the time. I would like to have a little bit more of a sense of impact, or a sense that I missed for a reason, because there's no, like, lock-on or anything. And there's really, with your basic character loadout, there's only one attack button, which is fine. I mean, there's actually a pretty good variety in attacks, and the animations look lovely and everything. I just think that maybe, you know, something about the fact that you can miss the people so much seems kind of odd to me. I would like for there to be a sense of, like, you definitely get that you missed, and you understand why you missed. Even if it just means you hold right trigger, it puts a little reticle on your opponent so you can, like, select between them or something. I guess he dropped a mine or something. That's kind of worrisome. I want to break out of this box here, however I can, because I don't want to just build up a huge ton of damage. I don't seem to be able to punch these walls when I'm jumping. Alright, he activated his own trap there. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm going to try and sweep... Oh, geez. Really? You're going to lock me in? This guy's getting a little brutal here on me. I gotta get out. Alright, there we go. Just need 2 tiles opened up, and then you should be able to get... I'm not sure the pathfinding is particularly great, because I've already had that happen a couple times where the enemies weren't able to attack me for various reasons. And if I don't get this guy out of this little cubby hole, there's not a chance I'm going to be able to actually finish him off, because, you know, obviously the only way you win is by knocking him out of the level. So maybe if I can sweep this floor away... No, doesn't seem to work. Kick this floor. Anything? That tile particularly doesn't seem to want to open, I'm not sure why. Well, I can't seem to get him out. As unfortunate as it is, I guess it's kind of good that this happened in the video so you can see what I'm talking about as far as gripes. Although this video is definitely not intended to pick on the game whatsoever, I actually have very favorable impressions of it. Just, you know, one of the unintended, unfortunate side effects of being in beta is, you know, occasionally things like this will crop up. So if I could just get this guy... Wow! Okay, well... Well-aimed homing rocket there, I suppose. Managed to get me through that cubbyhole. Can you just come out, please? He just needs to understand that he needs to slide up or jump up this little surface. Oh, there we go. Alright, his missile took care of the problem. And that makes it kind of easy for me to get out. So, I don't want to dwell in tournament mode for too long, but I did want to show you, you know, the diversity that you're going to run into. And all of the enemies that we fight are actually made up of parts that we can get for ourselves. And it's sort of like Dark Souls in that everything you fight is just the same way that the player is in terms of, like, capabilities. Anything that you can see that they're doing to you, you can eventually do to them, potentially. It's just about, you know, getting to the other side of that wall, which I think is pretty cool. But did you see that exchange there where we both kind of fired off a punch in opposite directions and we both missed each other, and there was no sense of, like, partial hit? It just feels kind of, like, really strange that there's not even, like, a sound, like a whiff sound or some kind of, like, missed clash or something. That would actually be kind of good, like in Blaze Blue, the way they do that, where the hits actually tend to glance off of each other and it makes, like, a spark. That would be cool. I mean, we are dealing with robots here, I believe, so... Pretty sure they look like robots. And it's also unfortunate we've also gotten the exact same arena each time. Let's do one more in case the arena does decide to change. There we go. So we've got the ice arena now, and we're fighting some sort of pretty scary looking robot. He's got a drill attached to his legs, it looks like, or both legs are a drill. I like designs like... Oh, wow, we got breakable blocks. Or fall-away blocks. One of the things I really like about this kind of a game design, where you build and upgrade your character, excuse me, is it lends to modular additions to the game, which, unfortunately, in the wrong hands, that can be a dangerous thing with microtransactions, but I feel like we can trust Reptile Games anyway. I think this is the kind of thing that with some proper developer and maybe even community support, you could end up having a huge, diverse variety of different ways to customize your character that maybe that wasn't even intended in the original game release. And since we're not actually to the point of the original game release, then I guess that's not really worth bothering or worrying about right now, but later on, I imagine that would lend to some excellent additional content. I should probably start using my shield a little bit more. I'm surprisingly judicious with that for whatever reason. I'm not sure what the hang-up is there. But I am getting some nice hits in. I don't think he's going to recover from that unless he makes a great drill. Oh, wow, he did. But hopefully you can see what I mean when I actually compare this to Mega Man a little bit. A lot of these guys come off like robot masters, which is kind of funny and cool in its own right. I'm not particularly good at recovering from these. I would also almost kind of like to see some power-ups added to it, sort of Smash Brothers style, even if it's not like in the main game per se, but maybe it could be like an additional mode that you might purchase or unlock with some in-game currency or something. That could be fun. Look at this guy, a pretty exotic-looking character design. Unfortunate that he decided to also use the drill. I would have hoped to highlight some of the diversity in these different robots. Holy crap, that's a giant rocket he just shot at me. Get off of there. Just want to smash him off the edge there a little bit if I can. I'm sort of missing that Super Smash Brothers like giant baseball bat hit that always felt so impactful and fun. Like there's a lot of just always miss. I don't know what that's about. Oh wow, this guy can drop blocks on me too, that's crazy. So there are some very cool power-ups to see. I just wish that it wasn't so button-mashy at the beginning, but again, that's also my fault for bringing a default robot into the tournament, which is not exactly what was intended, especially by the fact that we actually saw it's, you know, second on the list for things to pick. So we're immediately kicked back out to the main menu. Let's start a new game, because I actually... Oh, it says it'll delete my current save... I don't have any save progress. I guess I'm sure then. And we can do up to 4 players. That's cool. So this is actually the first time I've launched into this mode. Not sure what to expect. But I am pretty into this screen right here already. This is a very cool look. Wake up! I feel like we're in, fighting... what's her name? Lambda, or New from Blaze Blue in that rift area. You, my creation, are a Megac, a digital life form or simulation creature, you might say. I might say that. I have called you into existence to aid the village where I reside. 2 external forces will fight to harness my power. But the Megacs of this village... I think that's how you're supposed to say it. Megacs of this village rely on us to survive. It's your mission to protect Ventu. Alright, I don't know who Ventu is or what it is, but I will protect it. Now it's time for you to learn. Alright. I don't mind doing that. Oh, well, okay, I learned that stuff already. We don't need to really cover that. Alright, double jump. I don't know if I mentioned at the top that there is some minor platforming to this as well. I mean, just by virtue of how, the fight system works, you're going to need to definitely be able to traverse your environments effectively. Hello, newborn. I see you need some basic Megac training to get around. Just continue this way and follow instructions. Do your best. Oh, I always do. Alright, so we can go through floors, typical platformer fashion, down an A. Up an X is an uppercut, or like a dragon punch move. Down an X does the opposite. Wall jumps, we got that covered. Whoa, okay, well, I thought we had that covered. There we go. Boss Megac is just beyond here. This is a good chance to show your fighting skill. It's lost its soul and will attack you without holding back. Try to combine your punches to destroy it and get its part. X, 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 X. Okay. Let's get its part. This guy's probably pretty easy. Tutorial guys usually are. And that was that. Very nice. So we've got a checkpoint. I think it's already activated, right? Yeah. It's got a flag up. So I've gotten its part. And they also drop bits. Collect bits to recover lives. Oh, okay, that's the point of that. Collect parts to get new abilities. Check if the part is in your inventory with Y. Then you can attach it to your chest with A. Well, I would hope it would be in my inventory. So we can attach it to my chest. Can we get a look at what it is, though? Oh, I guess it says it on this. It's a Cooler Jet Core. Launches you upwards into controllable flight. Dealing A damage. Can also be aimed down. This part's ability will do knockback in the direction of its flight. So a downward launch can finish an opponent off. That's actually pretty awesome. Now, I want to know if I can add this to other parts. No, okay, it's only to chest. Well, I know some parts, though, allow you to actually set that kind of thing. Pick a direction slot. Choose up direction and press C or spacebar to confirm. Okay. Up. You win. Alright, so what do? I use B and up to activate it, and now we got a upward rocket dash thing. That's pretty cool, I like that. Almost there. Aerial attacks are very powerful, keep this in mind. Just jump, hold A, direction, and press X in the air. Alright, so let's fight 2 more guys. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Oop, I actually didn't mean to press that. And he's got a part for me as well. Neat. Another checkpoint and another bunch of bits. So honestly, the part of this game that I'm most excited about is mostly the combining elements, making robots, and, you know, seeing how that aids you in battle. But once you add that point to also being a platformer, I think there's actually a lot of really cool possibilities there. The basic, of course, it does nothing. Alright, well, I guess it's cosmetic. Or it was what I had there before. An exo leg, movement speed up, increases all movement speed by 10%. And increases jump height, a part mostly found on 4-legged wrench-type Megax. So let's add that to my leg. So now I've got one kind of silly leg and one normal leg. Now I wonder if you can customize the colors of this stuff, because I kind of would like to be able to theme myself a little bit, if possible. So first thing I gotta do, see if I can break the game by punching all the walls there. Apparently not. I have to wonder what's up with that fan in the middle. You know, is it venting these hot blocks for some reason? I don't really understand. Also, what's up with this floating thing here? This is pretty cool, though. I really like the aesthetics of this game. I don't know why, it's just got a very cheerful feel to it, and the music, I think, sets it off nicely as well. What's this thing over here? Can I break this? No. Alright. Maybe I can break that later. Maybe there's a bit of a Metroidvania quality. I hope so. What's up here? You have arrived. This is our home, your home, and some other words that say home. We are but a small village outside the Empire. Even still, the Empire has requested the youngest Megak to accept a gift from them as a token of goodwill. So this is the nice kind of Empire, or the Empire that will give you a gift of goodwill and then crush you. So your first mission, travel to the lost Megaclopolis in level 2 and meet with the Imperial General. You'll have to go through some dangerous areas, so please take care. Alright, I'm cool with that. You're the new Megak, right? So we're gonna make friends, I guess. Very swap. Alright. Trying to make some kind of a reference here. With you around, I don't have to do all the boring chores anymore. It's very fetch. Alright. Let's go down here, see what's up. Oh, there's our collection. Alright, so I guess once we unlock things, they're gonna show up on this list, which means that I guess we can use them later on. There's 15 pages in this collection, which makes me very happy. Most of the time when they attempt this style of gameplay, well, at least a lot of the time I notice... Oh, okay, that was probably bad. A lot of the time I notice the content is usually a bit on the, like, lame or, like, minimal side. This seems like it's going to be very much the opposite. Alright, I don't know why I'm talking to him again. Let's go over here. What do you have to say? You're looking for something? Merble. Okay. I can't go in these buildings, and I probably shouldn't punch that bomb again because I learned my lesson. What's down here? I'm kind of hoping there's some secrets maybe to find. No, this is not a thing. Okay. Well, I would like to proceed then to the next point on my journey. What do you have to say about it? Day 1, I was assigned to this guard tower. The wind is harsh, but I feel like I can hang on. Alright. Background is very nice as well. I think every one of these 3D backgrounds that they've used have looked really attractive generally, and I think it really offsets the color schemes going off in the front foreground. What's up with these blocks? They're strangely colored compared to everything else. I feel like there's going to be a point where I come back to this later and can, like, demolish parts. Oh, that's a Doro door on the left, apparently. If you enter a Doro door... that's a funny thing to say. All the parts in your inventory are transferred to your collection. Okay, so that's how you lock in your progress, I suppose. So attach the parts you want to keep. That seems fair. So let's enter our Doro door and electro waves. Alright, so we've got some little guys to beat up. Looks like they drop some stuff. Looks looks like the frame rate is taking a little bit of a hit there. I just reset fraps very quickly if you notice that little gap in the playback, but it looks like it isn't getting better. It's probably just due to recording. Game has been, wow, very smooth other than that. I do want to point out the background music that's changed actually is really nice. Consistently good music and art direction so far. I mean, really, actually, I have very few complaints. This game is very well polished. Looks great, it sounds great, it plays pretty freaking great as well. I mean, my only issues were things that I have a feeling we're going to have addressed with in the game progression itself. I really like that sense of impact when you hit something so hard it smashes through the rocks. Although you're actually setting yourself up there a little bit for failure, because if you smash them through the rocks, I don't know how you're supposed to get the bonus stuff that you just potentially unlocked from them. So maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe that's a strategic decision you need to make for yourself. I wonder what happens if you hit something so hard it breaks some rocks that you needed to climb up a surface, because I actually can't fly, really. I mean, I can fly a little bit, but it's not like I can fly freely indefinitely. Like this guy right here, I can't really see a way to get up through that. Anyway, I guess I'll hope that doesn't come back to bite me later. I should probably check out my parts list in a second. I think I've picked up a few things. Not really sure exactly where I'm supposed to be headed. There doesn't seem to be a map or anything. See, just press start to make sure. No, it's... We are mapless. We are in uncharted territory. We'll just continue to beat up these little robots and take their stuff, because that's something we can do. I have a pretty hard time imagining that they're going to actually be able to kill me in the spot we're in right now, unless they can smash me into the blocks so hard that it's going to actually make an impact on me. So what do I have now? I've got a boom blaster, blasts a ball of energy dealing 5 damage. Alright, I like the sound of that. Let's put that on an arm. Right, so that's going to be our B and then direction. And B and up is going to jump up, and then we can actually fire in the air as well, which is kind of cool. Seems like if you only have one like blaster type thing equipped, that it should probably fire automatically if you just press B. But then again, maybe there's other effects that can happen that you might need to have a neutral B for, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Alright, well, in a normal situation, the blaster probably would have gotten some use here, but this is not a normal situation, is it? Alright, so what do I... Just picked up a whole bunch of stuff. Creates a wall, 3 blocks high, necessary for guarding. It's our jet core. Most consider it useless. Basic of arms, standard arm. Oh, we've got a slice or something on that? Slice dash, horizontal dash, dealing 5 damage with downward knockback. That's pretty cool. And, oh, we can change our head, which is actually going to give us some better attack power on everything. That's very cool. Let's put that slicer leg thingy on. I guess we'll put that on down. Oh yeah, that's good. Almost seems like you should actually be able to assign a different button function, since there's actually a lot of unused buttons on the controller. Like, I don't know if that's convenient for everyone, but for anyone who's using a controller, like, it seems silly not to use left bumper, right trigger, left trigger. You press the control sticks. I don't even really get why we have our options to customize a robot set to Y. I think that should probably be on select, because select is not used right now. I'd much rather use a face button for something like dash. I think that actually makes a lot of sense too from like you know, gameplay perspective. If you're in a kind of panicky situation, it makes a lot more sense to just know you can press a face button immediately than have to necessarily press the customized button that you set up to be like B plus down. And I know I can set B plus sideways to be the thing, but I'd rather just have it be a solid button press that does that function. I don't know, let me know if you guys agree in the comments. I'm kind of curious about your opinions on that, but I just think maybe the controls could be a little bit more fine-tuned. Although, yeah, no, you don't even have an option to really set that up, so actually the only way to really deal with that would be to do it through like Joy-to-Key or something. But even still, you'd only just be like fudging the controls. It needs to actually be natively supported for it to really be useful. Hopefully you know what I mean. Oh, I thought I almost just fell off the level there. So we've got quite a few robot monsters here to fight. I don't think any of these guys are going to pose much of an issue for me, though. It's starting to make me wonder, like, maybe it would be kind of cool if there was a leveling system to this, too. And now we're sort of getting into, like, Darkspore territory, if you guys know that game. Where... similar mechanic, actually, as far as I know. I never actually played it, but I read about it. It was sort of like Diablo plus Spore, which in my mind is actually very much what this game is going for, and very much something I would like to see done particularly well, and I think this is probably already doing more of what I had hoped for that format than that game actually had. This is going to be a potentially tricky way to get up. Oh, right, I have a rocket booster. I forgot about that. Kind of changes things, doesn't it? Smash him into a wall. Plus, I can't forget about that dash. In terms of staying alive, I think that's going to be quite useful. Alright, well maybe I should just go through this door, because I don't really see this getting any better. Particularly looking forward to unlocking some of the more exotic parts. I think probably you feel the same way if you're watching. But yeah, this type of game really lends itself very well to the idea of online multiplayer. You know, the ability to collect stuff and make a better robot is something that I think everybody can see some value in, you know, fighting each other through that. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure it was a bad idea that I just stood next to it. So I guess we have a little bit of experiential learning to do as far as things to avoid. But that's okay. All will come in time. So, thinking what else there is to really talk about. I think we've covered a lot of the basics. I feel like this game really deserves a lot more recognition for what it's doing, because it's quite ambitious. And I'm actually very glad that I picked this up. I happened to get it in one of the bundles recently, and I actually can't remember which one it is now off the top of my head. But I think that for the price, especially since I saw it was on sale at the time of this recording, I'm not sure if it will be by the time you watch this, but it's normally $15, it was going for like $7.49, so half price. That is a good deal for what this is, I think, to get in on the ground floor, so to speak. And be able to keep up with updates and such. I think this is a really promising game with a lot of potential. And I think if this really took off and got a bit of a community around it, it could be quite a thing. At least that's how I see it. But let me know if you agree. Because really the whole way it's produced is really well done. It's very well polished. And I don't know, I wasn't expecting a ton from it, but I just honestly didn't know what to expect just based on the title. And I hate to say it, like, I never wanted to judge a book by its cover, but I feel like the title doesn't necessarily do the gameplay justice. Although I'm not sure what a better title would have been, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. Oh, okay, I guess when you're in adventure mode, you don't have to get smashed off the side of the world, you just have to get a certain point's worth of damage, or maybe a certain amount of momentum into a block will send you out of this mortal coil. Man, I want to get the soundtrack to this too. I'm really enjoying the music. Oh, what is this? We have a boss fight? Alright, I'm okay with that. I don't know why I just accidentally opened my menu there. Actually, why don't I use my blaster a little bit? See, we're in the unique position now where when I fire my blaster, I have to essentially take a step left each time, which is kind of silly. Unless I just very carefully time the two button presses, which is not really something I think a lot of people would do. Alright, what have I unlocked with this guy? Well, I've got my Mega Fist arm, my Exo leg. Alright, I already had one of those before. Exo arm increases damage of all standard attacks. Well, I have another arm I can use, so why not put that on there? And both of my legs are in use. Now it says Exo leg 2. I don't know if that means I have 2 quantity of those, or it's like a second level version of that. I don't really want to use that shield arm very much. Then I can also store parts, I can swap abilities. There's so many options here. And then we've got stats. Actually, the swap ability is not nearly as complicated as I thought it was going to be. It's just the thing that lets you pick your directionals. Yeah, note to the devs, like if you watch this one, I would think it's very cool if you wanted to add the ability to add buttons, like face buttons or controller buttons, to the setup for customizing what abilities you put where. I think that would actually make a huge difference when it comes to like competitive play or getting pretty serious about the game, which I hope people do. So I guess we'll just make our way to this next exit and see about wrapping up this episode. I think this has been fairly well covered at this point. The one thing I would like to see if this keeps going, as far as gameplay progression, you know, I'd like to see some more boss encounters. I'd like to see some more, maybe specific events of some kind. The game almost seemed like it was setting itself up to be positioned maybe slightly in an RPG angle, which I wasn't really expecting. Like, I didn't really think there was going to be NPCs at all. I thought, if anything, more like a lonesome Metroidvania, like, you're the only person that exists, and you're going to explore and find stuff. Whoa, what's this guy? Kind of reminds me of that, what is it, the giant cat that holds a hammer from Sonic Adventure or something. Big, the cat, I think his name is. Wow, okay. I guess I kind of crushed that one. Stop wall jumping, please. Thank you. What did I get from him? Oh, I got a new head. Megabyte head increases damage of all standard attacks. Oh, well, I already had the other kind of head which did that, so I might as well keep the one I have, because I like the colors better. And if that's not a thing, I would also love to see customization go to setting up color schemes and such, which already may be in the game. I just may have to get further in to see that. So if that is the case, then my apologies. It's the nature of the beast when it comes to these blind impression or blind-ish impression videos. I have been trying to do, you know, a little bit more of a, you know, intro for myself before I actually start recording. You know, I always do a slight trial just to get things set up for the sound setup and everything, but I also want to get a little bit more background before I start talking about stuff. And not that I think I can't, like, figure out what's going on as I play, because I've been doing that for about a year now, but I also want to be able to have a little bit more to, you know, have ready to say at the beginning. Although I also don't want to make it so we're staring at the menu screen any longer than we already do. I know that's a thing. So, what is this? It looks like a claptrap. I think I'm full of parts now, so I guess I have to, like, store a part or do something with a part. And now I can pick that up, okay. And that's a Cooler Jet core. Alright, well, I already know the deal with that. So it's like a build-your-own Mega Man Smash Brothers, I guess is the best way to say it. So I think we're going to pretty much wrap up Megabyte Punch. Very cool, very highly recommended. Go get it, give it a play yourself. I believe there's actually a free demo available. I saw it said something about Congregate. I'm going to find the link and put that in the description, if that is truly the case. I'm pretty sure it is, though. And I think you guys are going to want to try this out. Can't see why you wouldn't. These adventure levels seem a little bit sprawly, also, like, and also a bit repetitious. Like, there doesn't seem to be a lot to separate one part from the next, so it would be very cool if this was a little bit more differentiated from each area. Because right now I kind of don't know where I'm even going or where the end is. I'm just assuming it's to the right somewhere, because that's usually the way it is. But it could also be above me. I might have passed it already. Who knows? But, you know, exploration's good too. This would also lend itself very well to a Metroidvania-esque game, so if they ever wanted to take this kind of an engine, maybe constrain some of the build elements and hide stuff all over this world, I think this is a very cool way to do it. So anyway, I think I've pretty much covered every base I wanted to cover, so that will do it for Megabyte Punch. As always, please feel free to head on over to my website, which is www.indie-impressions.com, so you can check out all the different videos I've covered, old and new. You can sort them by distribution method, by platform. Even if you want to search by developer names, you can do that as well in the search box. We've also got forums over there, so feel free to come by and say hey. Maybe meet some of your fellow viewers that are enjoying all the crazy indie games that we've been covering on the channel here. And I would love to hear from you guys as well. If you want to start a new conversation, that is always welcome. I also do some game giveaways on the forums as well, so stuff to check out for. You might get a free game. Never know, it's worth checking out. And also, I do have a Facebook page for the show as well, which is facebook.com/indieimpressions. If you'd like to leave a like over there, you'll get every day's new video delivered into your Facebook stream. Makes it convenient, so you don't have to go looking for them. And I also do game giveaways and, you know, contests, and also news updates there as well. So, you know, it just takes a second if you'd like to leave a like on that page, and it helps me out. But that is completely up to you guys. Lastly, if you're a game dev, and you know, an indie game dev, I should say specifically, and you want to get in touch with me about possibly showing your game off on the show, quickest way to reach me is to send me an email on the contact form on the website, but there is also my Twitter account, which is @RockLeeSmile, and of course all of my social media links are going to be available right in the description, so feel free to come say hey, If you missed any of that info, check out the description. So that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you come back again tomorrow for another episode. I do a new one every single day. And we will see where this journey takes us. So have a lovely night, and thanks again for watching. Talk to you later.